Hello everyone, this is AJ, the Movie Owl, back again. Welcome to my channel. It's a new channel, trying to get it off the ground. Please consider subscribing, supporting the channel like that if you like what you see. Now today I'm going to be giving you a quick review and my thoughts on the new Masters of the Universe TV series that came out on Netflix on the 23rd of this month, end of last week. So Masters of the Universe Revelation. Okay, so this series was developed by Kevin Smith. If you don't know who Kevin Smith is, he's a film and comic creator. He's done films like Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, all this sort of stuff. Back in the day I was a big Kevin Smith fan, but more recently I don't like the stuff that he's putting out, the content of his films and that. You know, I think it was the younger me that liked him, but as I've grown older, I still like his older stuff, but his newer stuff just hits the mark with me. I don't get it. I don't, you know, it's not quality stuff like I used to. And Kevin, if you're listening, still begrudge you for never finishing the Daredevil Bullseye comic series from Marvel that you started and never finished. Why did I buy the first few issues and never got a conclusion to that story? Because you couldn't bother to go off and write it. Sorry. Everyone, back now. I know Kevin's listening, but no. So the series was developed by Kevin Smith and produced by Powerhouse Animation Studios. It's a sequel to the 1983-85 He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which as a child I loved. I played with the toys. I had loads of toys. I had Castle Grayskull, I had Snake Mountain, I had all the figures, Battle Cat, the purple velvety cat that Skeletor rode. You know, I had all this stuff. So, you know, I ain't got none of that stuff now. I didn't keep hold of any of it. But, you know, as a child, I was at that right age for He-Man and I loved it. You know, I recorded them on VHS at the end of films and rewatched them over and over and over again. That and Transformers, loved them both, right? You know, the best stuff I had there. So this series, like I said, it follows on from that original 83 to 85 series. It does ignore the events of the New Adventures of He-Man, which came... I don't know how long back that was, but there you go. The voice cast for this, you got a great lineup of actors voicing this. Mark Hamill, great Luke Skywalker, the greatest Joker, voices Skeletor. Mark Hamill is brilliant in whatever he voices. He's superb. You know, you got to love Mark Hamill. Chris Wood, he voices He-Man and Prince Adam. I don't know who Chris Wood is, but there you go. Liam Cunningham, he voices Duncan, aka Man at Arms. He's got a very strong voice, great gravitas. He was a big part in Game of Thrones, and then he's been in loads of other stuff. Great. And you know, he's really good in this. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Scooby-Doo. She voices Teela, or the new Man at Arms. Yeah, Lena Headey, again, Game of Thrones, Dread, Sarah Connor, Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, you know, the Terminator TV series. She was Sarah Connor in that, second greatest Sarah Connor. Kevin Conroy voices Merman, or he's only in a little bit, but I have to say Kevin Conroy because he voiced Batman in the Batman animated series. Kevin Conroy is a voicing great. Don't care, he was the best Batman voice ever. Justin Long, who's a long-time collaborator of Kevin Smith and does appear in a lot of Kevin Smith stuff. Justin Long's quite good. You'd know him. He was in Die Hard 4. He was the one that Bruce Willis was teamed up with. Live Free or Die Hard, that was called. He voices Roboto. I do remember the figure of Roboto. I did have that character as well. But there you go. So when they dropped this, you got 5 episodes. You had 5 episodes dropped, 5 episodes to come. So episode 1 was named The Power of Grayskull. Episode 2, The Poison Chalice. Episode 3, The Most Dangerous Man in Eternia. Episode 4, Land of the Dead. And episode 5, The Forge at the Forest Forever. We'll go into the story in a minute. Now, I know that there has been a bit of a hate towards this series. I've seen the videos. I've not watched the videos. I've seen the videos pop up. Now I went into this blind, right? I saw the trailer, but I don't bother reading any stuff about it. I don't follow, you know, what's going on. I didn't even realise Mark Hamill, even remembered Mark Hamill's voice until I watched episode 1, because I recognised his voice. So I'm going in blind. I'm not going in with a preconceived idea of what this is, with all the hatred on my back. I'm not, as a kid I was a fan of He-Man. Today, obviously I got the film, but today, you know, it's nice to revisit this world, shall we say. So, in episode 1, the story kicks off following, you know, catching up the characters from He-Man. A bit of time's passed. A battle ensues at Grayskull. Skeletor is doing what he does. And I'm not going to go too deep into the story, but it does, as it's no big secret that it sort of culminates in the death of He-Man and the death of Skeletor. So these two primary characters are now removed from the from the narrative. Yeah, which is what's upset a lot of people. Now, this program is called Masters of the Universe Revelation. It's not called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelation, so get that straight, right? By the end of the episode, Man-at-Arms is you know, he's sent off, not abandoned. He's cast out of the King's Keep. Working for him as a Man-at-Arms. Teela, who's the new Man-at-Arms, she decides to leave because she doesn't like the fact that she's found out that she's been lied to all this time about the secret identity of Prince Adam, whereas others around her knew. Yeah, so we catch up with them in episode 2, and considerable amount of time has passed. Teela's now looks different, and again I think people are upset with this because her look has become a bit sort of let's say it sort of questions her sexuality, the way that she looks, and she's hanging around with a young girl. Yeah, she I'll tell you what she looks like. She looks like, have you seen Supergirl, the TV series? She's drawn in such a way that Kara Zor-El's sister looks in that program. She's that type of look about her, which at first I was a bit, okay, what are they doing? But like I said, no prejudices or anything like that. You know, they've done what they've done, and yeah, but you know, so as the program progresses, you get a team up between herself and Evil Lynn. Beastman joins the ranks, so you have this, you know, these characters crossing paths and acting and working together in such a way that you've never had before in the He-Man cartoons. Episode 3, The Most Dangerous Man in Eternia, sees the return of Man-at-Arms into the fray, and they start going on this quest to get the Sword of Power back. The Sword of Power at the end of episode 1 was split into 2 parts and vanished when He-Man died, and all the power is leaving, has left Eternia. It's no longer a magical place. The world's dying, the universe is dying, it's in, all this sort of thing. So they need to get the magic back by finding these 2 swords. Episode 4, Land of the Dead, sees them visiting Preternia, Subternia. Subternia is essentially Eternia's hell. They go down there on a quest for one half of the sword. Episode 5, the forge at the forest. They go into Preternia, which is essentially heaven. Now heaven sees them meeting up with Prince Adam again, and he gets the opportunity to return, blah 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 blah. And by the end of this, he's, like I said, there were spoilers, so this is pointing at the very end. So cut off now, give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very fast 5 seconds. He gets run through, Skeletor returns. When the power returns, he gets run through by Skeletor just as he's waving the sword and getting the power back down. Skeletor then picks up the sword, says the words, and bam, 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 bam. He's now Master of the Universe. Damn it. I'm getting so excited that my book fell. My steelbook version of Master of the Universe. You see me getting carried away with this. Okay, should we edit that bit out? No, I don't think so. You know, these little bits make it fun. Anyway. Where was I? So yeah, so that's how it ends. Now I'm waiting for the next few episodes. So what did I think of this? Okay, like I said, I'm not a hater. I'm not going to hate. right? I went into it with no preconceived ideas of what to expect. I had heard that He-Man himself was going to be sidelined, and after watching it, I've got no issue with that. I had fun with this series. It's great to revisit this world and revisit these characters. Now, if you kept He-Man and Skeletor in it, chances are all you'd end up with is a rehash of what you've had before. Years ago as a kid, the same sort of storytelling, the same sort of fighting. You know, the problem with He-Man is he suffers with the problem of Superman. He's too overpowered, right? Whenever there's a problem, you just call on He-Man and he can resolve that problem because he's so damn overpowered. So writing something that's a genuine threat to him becomes more and more difficult and more boring, right? We've seen this. So what Kevin Smith's done here, and you know, hats off to him, is he's taken that out of the narrative. He has made the narrative about the power, about the sword, and about the power that sword brings. So you're following these characters on that narrative. What I enjoyed was the fact that you get characters teaming up that you'd never have teamed up before. You've got Teela, you've got Man-at-Arms working alongside Evil Lyn, Beastman, going on these adventures, and it brings for a great dynamic between these characters that you would have never had before, that you'd never had the chance to do if you didn't take the good and the bad out of the fray, leaving you with a grey area. Yeah, and that's what you're left with. There are other characters that come back into it, fan favourite characters that are killed off as the story goes on. Again, I was fine with that. You know, I'm an adult now, I'm not a child. I want a bit more meat on the bones when it comes to the story, and this did give me that. The animation was fantastic. I loved the animation, I loved the musical score. The voice cast felt invested. I said this in my review for Batman The Long Halloween Part 2, which you can go back and watch, plug, that with these DC films, as much as I like them, I don't feel any emotional depth from the voice cast too much. It's kind of like one person's recording their voice here, the other one's recording it 500 miles away 2 weeks later, and then they're being put together. Here in this, the voice cast was great. I was listening to it, and you know, it works. It's fantastic. I think I mentioned the score being fantastic. So for me, this show worked and I liked it. Let the haters hate. Yeah. Like I said, as a kid, I was with He-Man. I played with He-Man toys. I loved He-Man. I had no issue with the direction they took with this. It was a lot of fun because it wasn't just about revisiting He-Man himself. It was about revisiting this world of Eternia and the other characters in it. And here you've given the other characters a chance to do something without being second fiddle to He-Man himself. So yeah, for me, this show was a thumbs up, and I really am looking forward to the second part of this series. If it was here now, I'd be watching it. So yeah, so a positive from AJ. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's been that was a journey, 5-episode journey that I enjoyed taking. Thank you, Netflix. Thank you, Kevin Smith. Although, remember, Daredevil Bullseye. What did you do there, mate? What did you do? See you later.